In a whiskey glass.
Agua. There we go. We're on. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for another episode of Forza Barca podcast. We're here going to talk about the state of the club, state of the team. We're going to talk about the game that just finished with Plzeň. Even though it's a training session, but we still got to talk about the players and how they performed. And then we'll see where it goes from there. Mew, how you been? And tell me about the game, man. What did you think?
I mean, let's recap the last games, especially with the slip up by Real Madrid. Now we
Oh
are
yeah.
basically back in the game, um, and we need to capitalize on that. So fast forward to today, we knew there is going to be a lot of rotation.
Yeah.
No Pedri, of course, and that's absolutely understandable with the intensity and how many games the guy has played already. I
Yeah.
think it's for the better to save him
Mm-hmm.
for more important games, especially league fixtures. And with us being out of the Champions League, no matter what, it's like you said, it's a useless game basically, but nonetheless, concentration, especially for those guys that don't get to play that often,
Mm-hmm.
needs to be better than this. This it wasn't a good display at all. Not only by the youngsters, but also, but at this point, I think it's not worth it to talk about a guy like PK anymore. To be honest.
Well,
I,
that's the thing. Like the game that we're talking about that just finished versus Pelzen. It's. I mean, we came into it like we said. It's not. The match shouldn't even be played if it was up to us, but you still have to play it. And putting up basically the players that usually don't play, except Gavi, which played pretty much the whole game. I think, yeah, pretty much the 90 minutes. Um, the rest were basically B players, from our B team. Um, but yeah, I mean the you can tell from the get go that the players are not gonna press the whole time. They're not gonna run the whole time. It was more of everybody was relaxed, playing, with no expectations, pretty much, which led to a lot of mistakes, which led to a lot of chances created for the other team. Um, Granted, I don't know if the other team played um, their official team, their number one team, where they rotated a lot. I'm not really sure, but they, I mean, it seemed like they weren't, especially in the first half. Maybe the second half was different because they feel like they pressured more. But the first half, they just stayed back for the majority of it, and just once in a while they went on a counter, but they didn't really create a lot either. Um, but we can talk about which the positives, which, I mean, they're not as much, but we can still talk about a little bit the positives from the game today. We saw Gavi, of course, play really well. Pretty
mm,
much was him and Pena were the only one that were actually doing what they're supposed to. They're playing like they care about the game itself, pressing and with intensity. Um, and who else played really well? I'd say Rafinha, especially in the second half, did a really good job. He provided a lot of passes. Every time he had the ball, he tried to look for solutions up front instead of just try to dribble and then lose the ball. And that's a plus, because I think a lot of the times he tries too much to try to dribble and try to do some things, but sometimes it's unnecessary. Or if you see the pass, just go ahead and do it. And we saw in the second half he did that. Every time he had the ball, he looked for the other winger or for the striker to try to pass the ball forward, which is exactly what we need him to do. Um, and I think let's pretty much see that as a positive. What did you think? What are some positives that you, as bleak as they are,
The
some of the
same.
positives you saw?
I would add Ferran Torres because he was crucial for once. Um, Not that many chances that he gave away. Those that he had, he put in. So I would say that there was a positive. But again, the quality of the opponent, I think it doesn't say a lot.
No, it
Of
doesn't.
course, you
It's
need to
yeah,
win that game, and with a bit more concentration in the back, a bit more concentration up front, you can easily win this game 5-6 nil.
right.
No problems. I mean, it's difficult to understand what is going inside of their heads, and I think it's basically a mentality thing. So it's not
Yeah,
for me to say that the coach is responsible for some players just not taking their chances, not being concentrated for the 90 minutes. I mean, you are a fucking professional. You need to act like it, even if you know that the game. But after that disaster class against Inter and that absolutely humiliating defeat at home against Bayern, look, we've won the game 4-2, and it's not something to even remember. And if they were to draw that game or even lose, it would have been the worst result in a group stage by Barcelona, by
yeah.
the way. And it is in the history of the club. And this is something I don't know. Some guys there, they don't know what it means to wear that crest, in my opinion. And I cannot imagine that somebody like Xavi, who was so proud to wear that shirt and have that crest. Um, I don't think that he condones that shit. It's about their mentality. I think a lot of these young guys are not taking it that serious.
I mean, the ones that are, I'd say they're not taking it serious at this point are the old guards. Everybody
I don't
that's
know. Don't fuck them all.
yeah. I'm just saying,
Those
like
guys.
the younger ones, even Pablo Torre. I mean, I would say he made some mistakes. Which I mean, the dude only played like half an hour or 45 minutes total in the whole season. So if he makes a couple mistakes, that's understandable. If you don't have game time, you're gonna be a little rusty. But you can tell from the way he controls the ball, the way he passes the ball, especially at the goal that he scored. Dude has a lot of talent, and I think with time and if we implement him a lot and even during the season, I think within the next couple of seasons he will be a great asset to have in the midfield.
Yeah,
So
that dude needs to go on loan.
I go on
For
loan or play more, one or the other. I mean, they were trying
Mhm.
to get him on loan. He wanted to go on loan, but Xavi kept him, especially after Nico left. So I understand understandable that they wanted to keep him since Nico decided to go on loan. But if Nico comes back in the summer, um, but again, if we get in, we're probably gonna recruit CDM or a DM in the summer. So most likely, I would say he should go on loan in the summer, next summer, and see if he can get some playtime, get some experience under him because he's very talented. He just needs some more experience before he can actually take become a regular or more of a sub for the in the midfield for us. But I mean, yeah, like some of the players, you could tell that they were not in it. They weren't pressing. It felt like they didn't have that intensity for the game. But we don't know if that's something that Xavi told them once we score. Chill, try not to get into altercation with the players, try not to get too physical with the players. We don't know, but that's something that if we lost, then there definitely would have been a very very bad thing for the mentality of the kids. But hopefully that didn't happen. I mean, the we scored four, but if you watch the match, it's we weren't really dominating that. I mean, we had the ball, but we didn't really do anything with it. We just passed it
Mm.
around, and sometimes we go up if Rafinha puts it up there, or Ferran puts it up there. Other than that, it didn't really go anywhere where we really want it. But and again, this game overall, we didn't really nobody really cares for it. I'm pretty sure that the numbers, the people that watched, wasn't really that great either. Um, but it is what it is. It's a training match, and then we look to Almeria this weekend, and hopefully we can win that and keep pressure under Madrid's ass. So if they fuck up again, we'll be there.
Well, we need to win it. They're
Yeah.
still
Do,
they're
do you know
playing
who
at home.
Madrid is playing in the weekend?
No, I don't know. I
We
can look
should
it up, but
Yeah,
I
we should
don't
look
think
it up.
it's anything to.
I mean, people would have said Girona wouldn't give him a hard time either, but they
Yeah, like you said that they are basically the weaker teams are giving them the problems, not the stronger
yeah.
teams.
And I noticed it a pattern when they play against a team um that plays when Madrid plays attacking football, when they actually go up and try to
While
attack and pass the ball, they leave a lot of holes in the back, which a lot of small
yeah,
teams with fast players seem to really take advantage of. But when they play against better teams and teams that are the other teams that will dominate them either through possession football, or they're better at them overall. They tend to play a lot of counterattacking football, which suits them better since they have a lot of fast players. So it's and that's why we see them a lot losing points to small teams than when they play Sevilla, Villarreal, us, any other team. They seem to stay back and wait for counterattacks, and seems to work for them every time. So that's why I think if we win the league, it'll be most likely because Madrid would lose a lot of points playing against smaller teams that are gonna basically play to their to Madrid's weaknesses, and just wait until they get the counterattack. And we saw Girona do it brilliantly this last game. They could have won actually because they had a lot of, especially in the first half, they had a lot of chances they could have scored. So it's kind
mm.
of giving me
They
a little
played
hope
well. I
that
don't think they sat back, especially in the first half. They
no,
played
no, they
some
didn't
good
sit back. I'm
football. They
saying
even
Madrid.
tried.
Madrid didn't sit back. Madrid played attacking football with them. They didn't sit back and wait in the counterattack. I'm saying when Madrid sits back in for counterattacks, they play well. When they try to go up and try to dominate the game, and the opponent they play against have really fast players, especially fast swingers, they suffer a lot because they have Carvajal and Mendy on the sides. A lot of the times they leave a lot of space behind them when they're attacking. So that's, I feel like that
Mhm.
when they, if they lose a lot of points, it'll be because they play against smaller team, and they think they can dominate, so they go up and they leave a lot of space behind.
Yeah, but the pattern that I'm seeing, I mean, not that it is not true. I'm not saying that, and especially maybe in the last couple of seasons that was their shtick. But if you watch the games against the teams that they lost points, I mean, even RB Leipzig, they played some good football. They did not sit back and watch Madrid play the ball. They
Yeah,
had impact on the game. The same with Girona.
no, no, of
They.
course, of course. Yeah,
I
I'm not
mean,
saying that.
they do struggle against teams that just park the bus, and whenever the ball comes their way, they just try to play the ball very, very, very fast in the front and hope for
Yeah,
the best. Those teams are maybe as dangerous to them as
no, I'm
a
not
team
saying
that.
that the other teams park the bus. I'm saying Madrid does not park the bus. When
No,
Madrid doesn't park the
I
bus,
understand, but there is a reaction to a counter reaction. So
right,
if you have the ball all the time and you play around the 16-yard box of the opponent, of course your
mhm,
opponent needs to defend well.
right.
Otherwise, they get obliterated. But at the same time, you cannot You cannot have a team like Girona or Leipzig and compare them to, I don't know, maybe even Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, when they played Real Madrid, they played like shit this season.
Atletico this whole season they're playing like shit. I don't even understand what's going
Yeah,
on with them.
okay, well, okay,
You
fair
know what
enough,
I mean?
fair enough. But I mean, especially that game was very very bad because they basically just sat back and tried to counterattack them. That's what they did.
Yeah.
And sometimes that shit backfires, especially if you are not good at defending. And normally, Atletico is very good at defending, but
Yes.
this
This
time,
year is weird, man. They don't.
yeah,
I don't know if they. I mean, they need some new blood, especially in defense, because their defense was fire, and all of a sudden, like they lost all their good players. I don't understand it. But yeah, it's we'll see what happens. Did you see who they're playing? Did you look at them?
yeah,
I
Rayo
distracted you.
Vallecano.
Rayo. Oh man,
Mhm.
I mean, Rayo is hot and miss, right? They have Falcao still, right?
Yeah, they're not bad. They are not. They play a good season so far, if
Uh,
I'm not mistaken.
we'll see. Hopefully they give them some trouble.
Yeah, they play on Monday.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah,
Let's see, what is it? Rayo and
ninth.
oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. 18 points,
Yeah,
not
two
bad.
points away from. Okay, so they're close to the top anyway, to the top four anyway. Um,
Yep.
cool. So they have something to play for, at least to stay close to the. And they only lost once of the last 5 matches, which is not bad.
Didn't we start against Rayo? Wasn't that the
The one we
draw?
tied,
Yeah.
I think so. I think so. Let me look it up.
Yep. It was
We did.
Rayo.
Yeah, yeah. They're. I mean, they're a very good team. I mean, last year I think we lost against them twice or something.
Yep.
So they're not a bad
We
team.
did.
So hopefully they give them some
We
trouble.
lost
And
against them this year. Not even last year. Last season, but
oh
this
yeah,
year.
yeah. That's what I meant last year, as in last season. But yeah, hopefully they give them some trouble because if they do that and we win, man, we'll have a lot of confidence. Going out of this and coming back in January. I think it'll be a whole different game at that point.
We are
Especially after
coming
the
back
World Cup,
in December already.
huh?
We are coming back in December.
And the world when does the World Cup end?
I think at the end of December or the
Right.
middle of December, but La Liga starts at the 31st, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
I mean it's 31st is pretty much the end of the year.
Yeah.
But
We are playing Espanol.
oh fuck, giving us the fucking derby right when we come back.
Yep.
Should be
But
fun.
at home, not away.
Let's see. We have Almeria. We have 2 matches left, right? Total.
Yep. Almeria and Osasuna.
Oh, okay. And Madrid has Rayo and what else?
Oh no, another. I don't think another. It's going to be another.
Cadiz. They have Cadiz.
This.
Rayo Vallecano and Cadiz afterwards. So it should be last Thursday, November 10th. So they're gonna play in the middle of the week then. Interesting. Um, right. So I mean, what do you think they're gonna? In your opinion, do you think they'll lose any points for their next 2 games, or do you think they'll bounce back?
I think out of the two, I think Cadiz is the one that is maybe going to give them a run for their money.
You think?
Yep. I
Um,
don't know what it is about Madrid, but they usually have a lot of trouble at home, more so than in away games.
let's see. If we had to say, let's do something because we don't really have a lot to. to discuss for this game anyway. If you had
Mm.
to rank our best players for the season so far, go with the top three. Who would those be for you?
Top three:
Yeah,
Ter Stegen, Kunde, Lewandowski.
Ter Stegen, Koundé, Lewandowski.
Yep.
In that order.
No order in particular. I would
But
say
if you
those
had to put
are
an
the
order,
top.
let's put an order to it. Who would be number three?
Kunde,
Number two?
Lewandowski, and then Ter
And then
Stegen.
Stegen.
Yep.
Why Stegen? Like, why are you Stegen, not
He
Lewandowski?
had some
Because
crucial saves and a lot of games that especially early on where he saved our asses in the league. I think, and once again we are fairly exposed in the back with the likes of Piqué and Eric Garcia. And I think he had some really great performances. I mean, we need to, and I'm one of his worst critics. I think last season was abysmal for him, but right now I think he's world class.
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So,
Um,
what are your three
I'd
your
say
top three picks?
I'd say number three. It's hard because I want to give it to Kunde, but at the same time, Kunde has been injured a lot of this through a lot of the games throughout the season, especially the crucial ones. Um, I mean, you could say it's not his fault, but still, you know what I mean. You have to count it. You have to
Mm,
count it into the decision. So I'd say instead of if I'm sure Kunde is going to be great for us for the season if he stays fit,
mm,
but I'd say Gavi number three. I'd
mm,
say Ter Stegen, and then I'd say Lewandowski number one. I think even though Stegen had a lot of great saves that really kept us in the game in a lot of the matches, I think without Lewandowski's goals, we wouldn't even be in putting this pressure on Madrid right now. I think he's really crucial when it comes to goals. And if you look at just our last game, that would give you indication that he didn't give up even the last minute, literally last minute, and he was still did a fucking stretch that none of us could do in our
mm,
primes, physical prime, and it was able to put it in the net. So I think these games that we win 1-0, but it's really difficult. Those games are what separates you from winning the league versus being a second in it. So I think if we continue to win these small games, that a lot of times we find it hard to win, and if he keeps scoring, I think he's gonna be the best player of the whole season for us. So I think so far he's been doing exactly what we brought him to do, and in my opinion, exceeding it since a lot of times it seems he's the only one who's fucking trying up front for some fucking
mm.
reason. But he's been doing a
I
great job
mean,
of that.
I mean, of course, we can argue that Lewandowski is absolutely crucial. That's why I didn't want to put an order in, but you
Yeah.
you
I mean,
forced me
it's
to.
it's
It's
the Stegen Lewandowski. They're both keeping
Yeah, of
us in the
course.
game. To
When
you
we
know.
talk about our offensive line, our attacking line, uh, then it's of course Lewandowski is out of
Yeah,
the world this season. I mean, he's the best striker in the league right now.
yeah,
Not just for
yeah.
us, he's the best striker in the league. It's
And
without any
second top
contest.
striker in the top five leagues of Europe.
Yep.
The only one that's
Except for
ahead of him
Holland,
is
nobody
Holland.
scored
Yeah,
more. Yeah.
right. At 34 years old is pretty freaking insane. So it's to him age doesn't matter at this point because he scores the same way whether he's young or old. So
Yeah,
that's
I
great for
think
us.
the last 2 to 3 years were actually his prime.
Yeah,
I mean, if you
yeah, I
watch the
agree.
Bayern games, I mean, always scored a lot of goals, but the last three seasons, especially the last 2 seasons with Bayern, he was considered for the Ballon d'Or. So
Yeah, he should have won the
it's
2020,
what it
but that's
is.
just stupid that they didn't give it to him. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's well. Let's do it the other way. Who do you think that the worst players of the season, last three?
Piqué, Busquets, Eric Garcia.
I don't agree with that. But give me why Eric Garcia though. I know he did a one mistake or a couple of mistakes, but give me why.
Eric Garcia, I don't think he had like maybe 2 games where I think he had the quality to be in the squad.
Okay,
Other than that, I'm not convinced. He's not physically
and we
able
know
to
that.
put up a fight. He
Okay,
has his abilities as um, in the ball distribution are fantastic. Other than that, he's not a good defender. He's not fast.
okay,
He's not physically strong. His sometimes his reading of situations is absolutely abysmal. I think he's not good enough. Those are my 3 picks,
okay.
and I
Um,
don't back up. And,
my
and
three
and
picks.
and if we talk about order, I would say Eric Garcia at 3, Busquets at 2, and Piqué that guy is finished. That guy is absolutely finished. That guy. And if I may add, the problem that I have with Piqué, Alba, and Busquets is that they basically these 3 people sabotaged the club because they simply didn't knew or didn't want to admit that it is over for seasons. I mean, if those 3 would have just acknowledged that they reached everything that they could have reached. They've won everything that they could have won. And after that disastrous showing against Liverpool in Anfield, they should have stepped down. Each and every one of these 3 should have stepped down and just let a new generation take over. Because every freaking coach that entered the scene, there was no way they even could bench Busquets, Alba, or Piqué because they were household names. You are because if you ask for the former board and you ask them, well, can I get DMF? Can I get another CB? Can I get a left back? And you need a lot of money to get those 3 positions and have quality. And then they would say, no, no. You have like Busquets and Piqué and Alba, household names, but it was on them to know that they cannot add to the squad. They are just has-beens, and it is what it is. They demolished their legacy in my eyes. Nobody else. Imagine for somebody like Piqué, who was getting booed in every fucking stadium in Spain, but never got booed in the Camp Nou, just to come into this season and being booed by half of the crowd in the Camp Nou.
Yeah,
That must be probably the worst send off for somebody like him who loves the
yeah.
club.
No, no,
That
I agree with that. Yeah,
and like I said, all 3 didn't know when to stop. Unlike Iniesta and Xavi, they didn't know, and Puyol. All those guys
yeah,
knew when their time was over, and they had to make way for new people to come in.
yeah. I was gonna say the same for I would say Alves was pushed out, so I wouldn't say Alves, but yeah, we have Valdez did the same thing. Once he realized um, that he's done, he's not at the same level. He decided to peace out.
You've
So
seen controversial.
Alves, they pushed him out. Yeah, he got pushed
Yeah,
out of the.
Alves but Victor Valdez is probably the best goalkeeper that we ever had. People tend to underestimate how good he was. He
Oh,
won
he
like
was good.
three Samora in a row, and had one of the lowest uh, goal tallies against him. It was absolutely insane. I think 0.5 goals in a season
That's crazy.
that went in. That was absolutely insane. Not even Thibaut Courtois or whatever. Not even Iker Casillas. He was better than Iker Casillas. I don't care what anybody says. He should
Okay,
have been the goalkeeper for Spain back
Spain.
then.
I don't think he gave a fuck about that. But let me give you my three though. I'd say number three. Um, I'd say Busquets number three. No, actually, no. I wouldn't even put Busquets. I'd say Alba number three. I'd say Sergio Roberto number two, and then I'd say Piqué number one. I wouldn't even put
Wow.
Eddie Garcia because I
How?
understand Piqué Garcia did the
Well, let
But
me
let me
now let
explain
me
though.
ask you the same question, man. Just the
Which
same
one?
question. Why Sergio?
I'm about to. I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Okay, so Sergio Roberto, the one of the positions that we needed somebody to keep a hold of, since we don't have anybody in that position, was right back. After Kundi got injured, and Sergio Roberto, when he was playing, he left a lot of holes there, and a lot of the problems that we had, a lot of the goals that came in from his side. Same thing with Alba. When Alba was in, when they both were in, we got fucked. Doesn't matter what we played. I know you don't agree with it, but Busquets, as he did a couple of mistakes. He did a mistake for, I think, for Clasico where it was to a goal, but for majority of the games, he was okay. He wasn't the one that was terrible in the game. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch the games throughout the season. He was not the weak link in the games that we had, especially in the beginning of the season. So you could argue the last three or four. Sure, he was not up to task, and once he got out, and it could be maybe he's playing every fucking game, and he's what, 35 now or something, 34, 35. So playing every game for somebody who's a crucial position, could be affected to it. But I wouldn't say he was one of the worst players in that we had for the season. Dude, do you forget how fucking fucked up Alba was? I think you forget. You forget. Maybe he should start more so you can see the reason why you forgot about him, because Balde has been starting for the majority of the games. If Alba was starting,
How
you'd
do
see
you
how fucking
forget
terrible he was.
about? We are
We
talking
didn't put
about
him
the
in.
season.
It didn't put
We
right. Yeah, for the whole
we
season.
talk
I
about
understand.
the season. Why you should
Right,
not
but when
put
he played, he
Why
was terrible.
why
When he
should I
played,
put Jordi Alba in? It's not. It's not. He's not. He's not essential in this season. He's not even
Piqué is not
starting.
either. But Piqué is not either, but he's playing. But
PK,
we're playing the worst players. We didn't say the worst players in the essentials. We said the worst players
it's
of the
not about.
season
But
so far.
how many if we can count how many games
Mhm.
Alba played and how many games PK played, we would
Okay.
definitely come to the conclusion that PK did play a lot more games than Alba
I
did
wouldn't say a
this
lot
season.
more. Maybe a few minutes more. I wouldn't say a lot more.
Jordi Alba is not even. He's
He
not even
played a lot,
considered.
especially in the he played a lot of the games, rotated a lot with Balde. You can go back. We can go look at the stats, and by next episode, we can look at the stats and see who played more. But I'd say they're really close in minutes. Him and PK. You could say PK played more as a in a starting position, like in the starting lineup. He played more, but he got out a lot of the times. He didn't finish the game. And when he played, when Alba played, he's terrible. Either as a sub or as a starting lineup, he was terrible. The same thing about Sergio Roberto. When he maybe had one game that was great, but like the rest of the times when he's on, he's been terrible, terrible. Eric Garcia made a few mistakes, but when the majority of the games when he played, he was okay. He was not terrible. And we even said that when we watched a lot of the games, we texted back and forth. Eric is one of the best players in the field, and I have those to prove it. Because I know you said that a few times for a few of the games. We never said that about Jordi Alba.
I don't
We
think
never
it's
said
few
that about
games.
Piqué.
It's probably one game.
No, definitely
It's
not just
not
one
a
game.
few games. You cannot. You
Definitely
cannot.
not just
No,
one
no,
game.
no. It's not. It's
Oh no,
not
I
few
remember,
games.
bro. I remember these because I've been watching closer. I've been watching really closely to see
Screenshots.
how he's been doing this season.
It's not.
Bar a few mistakes, he improved a lot defensively,
Nah,
a
he
lot
didn't. He
compared to
didn't.
last. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. In
Let
comparison
me
to
let me
last
just
season,
let me just tell you something about Sergio Roberto. I know. See, Sergio Roberto.
uh-huh.
He's not a right back.
How long has he been playing as a right back? I know you're
I
gonna
don't
go.
give
You're
a
gonna
fuck.
go
He's
there,
not a natural right back. He's not fast. He's not fast. He knows he's not fast. He can only
brother,
compensate.
brother,
Let me finish this.
brother.
Let me finish this. He knows he's not fast. He knows when
I
backtracking,
don't
he's not
care if he knows or not. No, he's playing in that
his
position.
his quality in crossing, his quality in going into the 16-yard box is miles better than Bellerin. Miles. I'm talking about miles better than Bellerin. And that guy
Why are we
coming
comparing Belly? Belly shouldn't even be playing with us.
from a fucking
He shouldn't even
injury,
be playing in
that
Barca. But
guy
that's not even the.
coming from an injury and going into an injury and coming back from an injury. And you know why the people at Barcelona love him and he gets standing ovations because
Who? Who?
fucking Sergio Roberto. When
He gets a what?
watch the
You
game,
forget how much booze he got?
watch the
Are
game,
you insane? Did
watch
you
the
now?
game, watch the
You,
game, watch
the
the
last
game,
game, sure. The last game that he
watch
played,
the game,
sure. Because he
watch the
played
game.
that. That's the only game he played well. That's the only game in the whole season he played well. And if you don't disagree, if you disagree with that, we have an issue.
You don't understand how much. Just
He's
go there.
bro.
I know people that
I'll
go
send you.
daily to
I'll
the
send
games.
you a clip. Maybe you didn't watch it. I'll send you a clip where he was booed to fucking high heaven. No, just one. Multiple games where every time he had the ball or you heard his name, there he was booed.
Dude, nobody
Is that
got
wrong?
booed
Is that
like
wrong? Is that
nobody got booed like Piquet this season.
I'm not
Nobody,
comparing. I'm
nobody,
not comparing.
nobody.
Why are you comparing? I'm telling you
I'm,
that he's saying he's loved. He's not loved. Maybe he was back in the day in the 6'2" or whatever. But throughout the years, he's terrible. He is terrible. That's it.
I don't care if he's terrible right now. You don't understand. We are talking about the worst players. Just
Yes.
fucking watch the game against Madrid. It wasn't fucking Sergio Roberto who cost us the game. It was fucking Eric Garcia who cost us the game. It
I
was
understand.
fucking
That's one
Busquets who
game.
cost us the game.
If for that game he was the worst, yes. But we're talking about the whole season. That's my point when I say the whole. You are so emotionally basing the whole thing in one game or two games. That's
No,
not what I
I'm
said. I
basing
said
it
the
on
whole season.
crucial games. On crucial games. I don't care if we win fucking
Every
4-0.
game,
We win
every La
fucking
Liga
4-0.
game is a crucial game.
We win fucking 4-0. We have like one or two shots on our
Yes,
goal. And then you say fucking Eric Garcia is the best defender in the world. What the fuck
I
is
did
that?
not say that. I did not say. Why do you say I'm saying that?
No, I'm
Why are you doing
paraphrasing,
this?
man. I'm paraphrasing.
No. That's not paraphrasing. That's putting words
Paraphrasing.
in my mouth.
I'm paraphrasing, man. That's what you think. That's what you think.
No. I did not think that. Well,
That's
all I said, he's probably fourth in my scale. He's just not third because we have. I'm not even counting Bellerin because he barely played. He played like 2, 3 fucking
You know
games the whole
what?
season. That's why I didn't count him.
I
But
rearranged mine. Put Piquet down to 2 and put Eric Garcia down to
you
1.
are delusional, man. You see, that's what I'm saying. You are going by emotion
I don't
and
care,
not by
man. I don't care.
statistics.
If you don't put Eric Garcia in the top 3 after that
Nah,
fucking
he's
shit,
number four. He's
okay,
number four,
then
or even number five if you count Bellerin. But Bellerin should
I
be
don't
number
care
one at
about
this point.
Bellerin. See, this is the problem. Bellerin, he's not he before even he signed the fucking contract at Barcelona, we know he's not good enough. We know
Yeah,
he's
we knew
good.
that. We knew that. Yeah.
So you go in and he has like 2 to 3 games and he absolutely plays like shit as
Yep.
expected.
Yeah.
So as
That's why I
expected,
didn't count him. That's why I didn't count him because it
you
doesn't matter.
cannot do one step forward and three backwards. That's exactly what Eric Garcia is doing. He's having like
What?
one good game and then he totally fucks up, just like against Real Madrid. So,
One. You're counting one game, bro. You
and
count
the
in one
dude
game.
he's not up to the task. He's not. Listen to me. If Christensen, Araujo, and Kunde are fit and healthy, there's
Yeah.
no way in hell, even if hell freezes, that Eric Garcia should play. No way in hell.
Actually, he
All of them
would
are
play
miles
as a
better.
rotation player because if you play the same
Not
fucking
a,
players over and over again,
he's not even good a
what the
rotating player. I even would
what the
play
fuck,
Alonso before him.
bro? You
That's
are
exactly.
talking out of emotion, not out of statistics. I understand you're pissed because he fucked up the Madrid game. I get it.
He fucked,
He
he
is
fucked up
still
a lot of
an
times.
okay player, not great player, not somebody who would put in the lineup in the starting lineup if we had a fit. But if we need him, he is an okay player. He's not somebody who's gonna fuck up every time he plays. He's not PK at this point.
He's
Not
he's
Sergio Roberto. Sergio Roberto. I know you're saying, oh, he's the only game he played well was the one he got injured in. That's the only game he played well in the
he's
whole season.
Let me tell you what Eric Garcia is. Eric Garcia is the next long leg. That is what it is. That's his. If you think about it, not
No, I'm
just
not
think
thinking
about
about
it.
it.
Think about it. He's the next long
No,
leg. He has the same qualities. He has the same qualities. Just look at Longley. He's good at ball distribution.
it could be the
Absolutely
same.
shit at defending. Absolutely shit at defending.
Okay. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut a video, edit a video of Eric Garcia this season tackling and winning balls, and I'm
Well,
gonna send it to you.
that doesn't show reality though.
It does show how much
It
he
doesn't show
improved
reality
defensively.
though. You can have
It's,
like two good scenes in a match, and after that fuck up. I bet I can.
but he didn't. The only fuck up he did
No,
was
I can
against
even
Madrid.
edit. No, he was absolutely abysmal against Madrid. He was not even take that scene
That's what I
out.
said.
Take that
That's what I
scene
just said. That's
Take
what I
that
said.
scene out. Just take that scene out, and I can guarantee you, I can pick out like 2 to 3 good scenes from that game, even though he was absolutely abysmal in that game. That's not
No, no,
how
no. I'm saying
life
what I
works.
said is that's the only game that he actually was terrible
No,
in.
no,
Terrible in. The
no.
other games, he wasn't terrible. He was okay in. Wasn't great. He was okay. And he actually did a lot of times he was actually the one that cleared the ball right before the attackers got to the point where they can score. I'm not gonna take that away. If he actually was terrible in more than one game, like 3 or 4, even 5, 6 games, yeah, sure. He was bad maybe 1 or 2 games total when he played. He's not amazing player. He's not a great player, but he's not a bottom 3 player. Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's an amazing player. I'm not saying if we had our defenders fit, he should play, like especially in crucial games. He shouldn't. But when we need him, when somebody gets injured, I'm not going, oh, fuck, he's going to fuck up every time he has the ball. And when Piqué gets in, that's how I feel when he gets in. I'm like, shit, we're fucked. He can't even clear the ball without giving it to the other team. That's what I'm saying. So with that said, Eddie Garcia is not a bottom 3 player for us this
He
season.
is.
Maybe by
He
the
is.
end of the season, he actually gets worse and worse. But in my opinion, he improved a lot since last season. We're not saying much because he was terrible last season, but still, he's 21. It's not like he's freaking 30. He has a lot of room for improvements. So we'll see by the end of the season what happens. But so far, I wouldn't call him a terrible player.
I would.
Huh?
I would do so.
Well, that's you're still pissed off about the Madrid game, but it's okay. He'll make it up to you.
He
He'll
won't.
make it.
He won't. He was. He was.
He won't. What hurt your
He
feelings,
was.
man?
Look, the thing though is that we can backtrack and see the shitty games that he had. That's the good thing. That's the good thing. That's the good part.
Tell me what other
That's
ones
the
he
good
was
part.
shitty in.
against Inter Milan, and let me tell you why. There are a lot of publications that scores, and the median of those are. And let me just tell you, for the 3-3 against Inter Milan, what do you
Mhm.
think he got scored in out of 10?
I don't know.
6.6, with Piquet being
Okay.
the worst with 6.0.
Okay.
So the only one that was actually worse in that game was Rafinha with 2.9. That was the worst player in that game. So we had
Okay.
like Piquet, Eric
I
Garcia,
mean, to be
and
fair, the
Rafinha.
majority of the players were shit that game, so that's not even a.
No,
But go ahead.
that's not true. Lewandowski
That's not.
was
What is it? I said the
oh really?
majority. I didn't say all. Everybody. I said the
Yeah,
majority.
but Lewandowski was
Was great. Was brilliant. Like
yeah,
he kept us in.
and he
Yes.
had like a 9.0, and
Yeah.
even somebody
Yeah.
like
But
Busquets that I didn't like was scored with a 7.0.
he played well.
Yeah, he played well, and you can
Right.
see that this is, and even Sergio Roberto was scored with a 7.1, and that is the reality of it.
But
Sergio
that's one
Roberto,
game, man.
I
You
don't
are
care.
still.
I don't care. You don't understand that I'm just proving to you that it wasn't just the Madrid game where he played absolutely
Well,
shit.
that's fantastic. So Rafinha had a bad game, and he had another bad game too. So why is he not in the bottom three too? Huh?
Because
Answer that.
let me put it this
Yeah, I'm
way.
listening.
Let
I'm
me put
listening.
it this way. So
Uh-huh.
you have like one guy that is functioning there. By the way, Usman Dembele was scored 8.8 in that game, and Lewandowski was 9.0, and Rafinha
Okay.
was subbed out.
Sure.
Rafinha
Yeah.
was subbed out. Okay?
Okay.
Eric wasn't subbed out. He played 90 fucking minutes. 90 minutes.
Did you hit offline? Like, do you still see your stuff, your audio
Yep,
going?
yep,
Okay.
yep.
Because it says offline on my end. I don't know why. But go ahead.
90 minutes. Eric Garcia played 90 minutes. You can see the who came on, who did go off, and if you have somebody like Dembele scoring,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
have like somebody
It's.
like Lewandowski
I
scoring, and
understand
then
what you're
you have,
saying. I understand what you're saying. It
so he
is
was
still
with,
not a bottom three for the whole
why not?
season
Why not?
because it's not the whole season, man. I get it. He fucked up a couple games. Sure. Yes. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Not a couple
He's
games,
not a
crucial
bottom.
games,
That's
crucial
fine.
games.
That's and every league game is a crucial game. And again, we had Lewandowski who should have scored in the Bayern when we played in Bayern Munich. I'm not saying he's bad. Again, I'm just saying stuff happened in one game or two games. I'm talking about the whole season. In and out the whole season, putting up performances. That's what I mean. Consistent performances. He's not a bottom three player. That's all I'm saying. Maybe he's a bottom four, bottom five. Sure, if you put him in the fourth one, I'd get it. There are worse players than him that could be in that top, bottom three. That's what I'm saying. I'm not
Okay.
defending him. I'm not saying he's amazing. I'm just saying he's not a bottom three. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because you would sound like a lunatic if you said that.
Because it's not true.
But let us just put together the crucial moments of the season. I mean, so far, because the
Yeah.
season still is
Sure. Yeah.
ongoing. But
Yeah.
the first game against Bayern,
Mm-hmm.
Sergio Roberto didn't play. The second game
Yeah.
against Bayern, Sergio Roberto didn't play. Okay, so
Okay.
that's two games. Two
I
games that
wouldn't
were
say those are the crucial ones because we
but
knew we were going to
then
lose those games anyway. But go ahead.
even against Inter, he didn't play.
Okay.
So which were the crucial games? Let's just say
Well, then name it
Bayern
bottom
were
three in the crucial
let me
games.
finish
Then
this
name
one.
it bottom three in the crucial games, and that's fine. If you did that and you put Eric Garcia in there, I'd understand that. But we're not playing just Champions League. We're playing La Liga too. La Liga's every fucking point counts for a long time, not just for 5 or 6
So you
games.
want me to go
So
into every I'll do it. If you want me
I
to
mean,
do it,
if
I'll
that's
do
what
it.
you want,
I go
if you
into
want to prove
every
that he's a
single.
bottom three player, that's okay with me. But all I'm saying is, again, and I know you're trying to, I don't know what you're trying to prove. It's just my opinion. He's not
I
a
know it's your
bottom
opinion, but I
three
don't.
player so far.
Who?
Eric Garcia.
Eric Garcia is 100%. Look,
Not a
statistically,
bottom three. I'm saying not a bottom three. That's what I'm saying.
statistically, in
Okay.
that squad, he is
Mhm.
a bottom three player, and Sergio Roberto isn't. If we just go by
Well,
the
then
ratings,
when he comes back, play him as a right back for the rest of the season. You would, wouldn't you? If he's not a bottom three, play him as a right back.
why? He's not a right back. That's not his. That's not his natural position, man.
Bro, I've been playing a right back since 2015, man. What are you on
I
about,
don't
man?
care. It's simply not his position. It's not his position.
You know what it sounds like? Like when you had Mascherano, who was a defensive midfielder, and Pep converted him to center back. It's like saying when he
Mhm.
makes mistakes in the center back, it's like, what? That's not his natural position. Why aren't we judging him for being a
But
center back? That's not
you are
how it
talking about
works.
you don't understand the mistakes that fucking Sergio Roberto does is they have a clear vision, and Xavi must have a clear vision about how he wants to play if Sergio Roberto goes to the front, because he's not a fast player. He's not a fast player. He's not fast at backtracking. So somebody needs to cover up for him. Either it's a midfielder or somebody at the back who needs to cover for him. So that's his mistake. But what Eric
Bro,
Garcia does is
bro,
fucking
bro,
supplying Vinicius Jr. with a layup.
bro,
With a fucking layup. Don't talk
bro,
to me about Eric Garcia. Eric
Robert.
Garcia is the worst. The worst.
You're
Probably
insane, bro. Look,
with
listen,
fucking
listen, listen.
okay.
Sergio Roberto has been playing shit for years,
Mhm,
not
mhm.
just now.
I'm not
And if
talking
you
about
don't
years.
remember,
We talk about this
and
season.
if you don't,
We don't talk about
I
the
know, but my
yeah.
point is, he's been playing bad for years. He's been playing bad this year. He had one good game and he got injured and got out of it. The rest, when he played, he left a lot of holes at the back. They exploited his side every time, and they were created dangerous chances every time they exploited it. The only person who covered for him was Koundé when he was playing. Other than that, we got fucked every time he played.
Yeah,
Now, when he say the same thing about Eddie Garcia, that's not true. When he played, a lot of the times he covered his ass. He was actually really good defending a lot of the times. Making mistakes,
it's not
absolutely.
true.
In
It's
crucial
not true.
games, absolutely he made mistakes. Is he a top defender for us? Absolutely not. My point is, and I don't know what you're trying to prove, but it doesn't matter what you say. I'm still gonna stick by my
You can
stance.
stick to
He's
it.
not a
You're right.
bottom
You can stick to it.
three. That's okay. That's your opinion that I'm wrong. My opinion is I'm not wrong because so far he's not a bottom three player. We had players that are worse than him that have played this season. That's all I'm saying.
Live.
Throughout the season, he might actually prove me wrong and actually become the fucking worst player we have had all season. He might even surpass Piqué at this point. I don't even know. But him and Busquets are not the worst players that we've had this season so far. That could change, but so far they're not the worst players that we've had. But
I disagree.
that's okay. You can disagree, and that's up to. I mean, everybody has their own opinion. I'm sure other people that are listening to us have their own opinion who are the worst players. Maybe they even put fucking Lewandowski as the worst player. Who the fuck knows? Um, but let's try to end it with a prediction. What do you think the points are gonna be for us in Madrid by the second game that we have for the next week and a half?
I mean, I hope that we can keep keep that one, at least that 1 point difference.
1 point.
Uh,
Do you think Madrid will drop any points next two games? Or do you think they'll
like
bounce
I
back?
said, if they are going to drop points, it's not going to be against Rayo Vallecano. It's possibly Cadiz.
Okay. Cadiz. Cadiz. Hopefully they step up, and I think they're at the bottom at this point. Cadiz, they're not playing really well. Yeah, they're second to the bottom.
Are they?
19th. Yeah, they're 19th. But
Okay.
Girona's literally the 17th, so and they give a hard time to Madrid. So who knows what happens?
But they
Um,
did win against Atletico, so that
who?
Cadiz
Cadiz? Yeah.
3-2.
So we'll see what happens. All
So
right.
they
You
know
have
how
anything
to play
else?
against Madrid.
Who? But Cadiz?
Yes, yes.
Man, if they win, man, that'd be cool. To end it with us being on top, that'd be great. That'd be a great morale booster too when we come back.
I don't
Um,
know.
wh-
We usually do pretty shit if we have like international breaks or whatever.
well, this is long international break, so maybe it'll be different. Hold on, I don't know. I'm just wishful thinking, but we'll see. You're right. Every time we take a break, we come back fucking sluggish as hell. It takes us a while to get into rhythm, but we'll see what happens.
But some players, I
Um,
think some players will stay.
I mean, they say it's going to be training and stuff there. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Ansu was probably not going,
was he not in the list at
but
all?
he's not going.
He's not
There's
gonna go.
no
Yeah,
way.
he's not gonna go. He's not
No.
gonna go. But yeah, we'll see. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
Anything
for
else you
us,
want to add
it's basically
before we?
Gavi and
Who?
Pedri who are going to hurt the most because they are going to have a lot of playtime.
I don't think they're gonna go far, to be honest. Spain, but we'll see. They haven't been really convincing up front. If they're not scoring, they're gonna get scored on. It'll be interesting. I
Who
mean,
knows?
I I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see. I want them to at least make it to like semi or something, but we'll see what happens with them.
No, Poland and Spain and who else?
Brazil,
Hmm?
Brazil. No, we only have
No,
one
I
player
don't
in
care
Brazil.
about Brazil. I don't think Rafinha is going to play that much, to be
Oh,
honest.
he's a in the star lineup, bro. What are you talking about?
No, I don't think
Him,
so.
him. No, he plays him, Vinny, and fuck the guy in Tottenham. Those are the top. Oh no, Neymar, Vinny, and Rafinha. They played the top. So
I don't think this
and
is
then
going to be every
that's
game.
he played pretty much every
Not,
time
not
over the
90
last few
minutes.
games.
I don't think
He
so.
played in the beginning every time, but we'll see.
They have they have way too many options.
Yeah, they have way too many options. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, he might not play 90 minutes, but he'll still play. But we'll see.
Okay. No,
Any
I don't care about Rafinha. I hope Usman don't go.
Oh
He
fuck
probably
yeah,
will go.
he will go, but he's gonna get injured. I'm 100% sure. Every
Maybe
time
he's
he
not
goes, he
going.
gets injured.
He's not going to play because Kuman is playing really good.
Nah, dude. There's no way they're not gonna call him, man. No way,
Who
Usman. There's no way they're not gonna call him up to go.
they call him up, but they also have a lot of options up front.
Yeah, I know, but like every time they call him, he comes in from the. He doesn't start, but he comes in the second half and he gets injured. Like three every time he goes. Last year, that's what happened. He came in the second half, like literally 5 minutes, and he was injured, gone for like 3 months. So that's
Fuck.
well, yeah. We'll
But
see. We'll see.
maybe
Hopefully, I'm wrong.
I hope Araujo doesn't go, and I hope Kunde, well, probably Kunde. Will
Akunde
go.
is gonna go too. Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see.
We are fucked, man.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, hopefully
You
we
good?
will win our last two games, and we
I
can
think
at
we'll
least.
do an episode next week after the second game, and we'll talk about the first half of the season and
Uh,
what it means for the
I mean,
club and where we go from
it's
there.
not really the half of the season.
Yeah, but by the time we come back, it'll be end of December, January. So
We still have a game against Atletico, so
yeah, I'm gonna have to take a shit, so I'm not worried about that one.
yeah, but they tend to play against us their very best football.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it. All right, cool. So we'll be back next week. Thank you everybody for listening, and we'll talk next week about the games and see where we are. Hopefully we still 1 points behind, or maybe we're ahead. Who knows? But we appreciate you listening, and we'll get back to you again next week. Take care. Força Barça.